All right, let's take a look at the sample final here. First page. Find the distance from A to B. The distance formula, of course, is the square root of the change in x squared plus change in y squared. So the change in x is 2 to 6, that's 4. Plus the change in y, 4 to minus 2 is negative 6. But that's going to be squared, so I don't really need to keep that. So that's 16 plus 36, 42, 52. And if you wanted to, 52 is 4 times 13, so it'd be square root of 4 times the square root of 13. The square root of 4 is 2. Either that or that. Find the equation of the line through AB. Well, the slope is change in y, which was negative 6, over the change in x, which was 4, which is negative 3 halves. And then I can write the equation in any form. It could have been y equals negative 3 halves x plus. If I put 2 in for the x, I get negative 3 plus something has to be 4. That would have to be 7. Or I could write change in y times x minus change in x times y, and that's supposed to be a constant. Well, if they're both minus, I can change them both positive. But I'll leave it that way. So that'd be using the point 2, 4. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. So that'd be negative 14. But I could have done it with 3x plus 2y, and then this would have been plus 14. Or you could use the point slope form. Y minus a y point, 4, equals slope, negative 3 halves, times x minus the x point. That would have worked. So there's all three possibilities. Now find the line through the point 2, 0, which is perpendicular to this. So then I have to take the reciprocal of the slope, so that would have been y equal, negative reciprocal. It would have been 2/3 x plus, and if I put in 2 here, I get 4/3, and I'm supposed to get 0, so minus 4/3. Or take the negative reciprocal of the slope, that would be switching the y and x coefficients here and changing one sign. So I'll make it 2x minus 3y, switch the minus 3 and the minus 2, and then changed one of them. That's the same as flipping these over and changing the sign. Equals, and if I put in 2 for there and 0 here, I get 4. Or I could have said y minus 0 equals, flip this, 2/3 and change its sign, and x minus 4, or x minus 2. That's the point that I have over here. I did it 3 different ways. Write the equation of the circle that has in general form. So that would be x minus 3 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals 5 squared. In general form, so we need to multiply these out, so that's x squared minus 6x plus 9 plus y squared plus 4y plus 4 equals 25. So we get x squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 4y. 13 And minus 25 is negative 12 equals 0. Find the center and radius of this circle. So this is x squared plus 6x plus y squared minus 7y. And so this is going to be x plus 3 squared, which creates an extra 9, and plus y minus 7 halves squared, which creates an extra 49 fourths, this squared. And since this creates an extra, we add that amount to the other side. Or we can go minus 10 here, and that's supposed to equal the radius squared if I move the 10 over. So I have the extra 9 that this creates plus the extra 49 fourths minus 10 is r squared. So that's 12 and a fourth. So 21 and a fourth minus 10 is 11 and a fourth is r squared. So we get finally the equation is x, write the equation, find the center. So the center is at negative 3, 7 halves. The radius is the square root of 11 and a quarter. And now I got to graph it. So I'll squeeze it in here. Negative 3. 7 halves is 3.5. There's the center. Make sure I put units on my graph, because I keep yelling at you guys to do that. Square root of 11.25 is a little more than 3, like 3.3, so it would be about that much on either side, and that was 3.5, so that's close. So it's going to be close to just touching there. And there's my graph. Okay, find the domain. So this would be, oh, and I never finished writing the equation of the circle. I probably should do that. That would be, just in case I ask for that, x plus 3 squared plus y minus 7 halves squared is the radius squared, which is 11 and 1/4. Okay, domain for this. If y equals this, then the stuff inside, 2 minus 8x square root, you don't take square root of negative, so that's got to be greater than or equal to 0. So we add 2 to both sides, and we get negative 8x is greater than or equal to 0 to negative 2. We divide by negative 8, and we get x is less than or equal to 1/4. Flipping the sign because we're dividing by a negative. So easiest just to do this. That's would be the domain. Page 1.